Hey Scorpio, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie. This is Luna Phoenix Tarot, and today I'm doing your general 2020 July reading. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I'm going to try and get my words out. This is my third time trying to record this, so excuse me. If you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share the video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And thanks for being here. Some very interesting energy in this reading, and before my multiple attempts to record it, I did have to sit here for a minute and kind of get a feel for what Spirit was trying to tell me. It's a little heavy, but there's some good messages in here. So with that being said, this may not resonate with every Scorpio out there. If it does, amazing. If not, leave the message. It may not be your message. I'm going to start off with the overall energy I got was a never-ending story. And in the past, what I've gotten from that card is like a perpetual lesson that you're going through, basically. But I was getting something different with it this time. Just completely different energy. So I decided to get the book and kind of take a look at what it said, and there's some things in there that resonated with me pretty deeply. I have a lot of Scorpio placement in my chart, so I usually resonate really hard with Scorpio anyway. But that's part of the reason why I took my time with this reading, because I want to make sure that I'm being fair and not being biased and applying my own situation to a reading. So anyway, what the book says is self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. The Oracle's message is there's a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manners of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. And then another part that stood out to me was sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. This part is sticking out to me too. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. I didn't even read that before this recording, but whew, okay, so I'll get into the cards and then I'm going to touch on something else, and I'm getting chills. Okay, so I got the Six of Wands, which to me is, I mean, it's a card of recognition, accolades, getting awarded, people seeing you for who you are, for the light that you're shining out. People are you're catching people's eye, you know, even your own. But more importantly, you're putting yourself out there. I feel like a lot of Scorpios over the past year and a half have been just going through it. More specifically, the end of last year through pretty much, I would say, the last month or so. A lot of tower moments, a lot of death card energy, a lot of just upheaval. And your life is completely flipping around. So now it's like you're at a position where you're putting yourself out there after all of the self-work that you've done, and you're trying to get back to being you at a better version. And the next card that came out was the Three of Swords in reverse. I normally don't even do reversals, but this card was, I mean, I couldn't ignore the reversal when it came out, so I took it. Which the reversal of the Three of Swords to me says that you're coming out of a heartbreak energy. This is you being able to make it through the day without crying, or looking at somebody's Facebook page, or wondering what somebody's doing, or, you know, beating yourself up because what if this, or what if I did this, and maybe if I tried this, you know, it would work out. you've gotten past that, and you're in a, I'm getting a sense of wholeness and a sense of newfound comfort and peace within yourself. That was clarified by the Nine of Cups and then the Daughter of Cups, which the Nine of Cups is that same type of energy. But this is also wish fulfillment. This is a lot of self-love is what I feel with this. And being proud of the work that you've done to get to where you are. There's a little warning with this card, and it's to not be so protective of what you got. In the traditional deck, there's a male standing in front of all of his cups. So the thing I would say to take heed to is to now that you have all of this abundance, it's okay to share with others. It's okay to put yourself out there. I mean, you're getting recognized for it. Then the Daughter of Cups. If you look at the reflection in the water, it's vibrant, it's colorful. This is you seeing yourself in a new light. This is you seeing those pieces of yourself and putting light on them. Those shadow pieces of yourself. The trust issues, the abandonment issues, the lack of self-worth or identity. I feel like a lot of you have found who you are as a person or as a soul, and you're fully embracing it, and that's amazing. That's beautiful. And it's scary at the same time. So next we got the Four of Cups clarified by the Two of Cups and the Sun. The Four of Cups traditionally is a card of an offer of love. Hold on one second. Okay, Google, turn on tall lamp. Traditionally is a card of an offer of love being given but not being received. So it could be someone trying to come forward to you and you're just kind of brushing them off, or vice versa. And this deck, though, looks like somebody who is either longing for something, just kind of like just a unimpressed energy is what I'm getting. But what I noticed in this card for this reading was the cups. So on one side we have the Three of Cups, and then on the other we have the one with the hand, right? Three of Cups is in tarot is a card about a celebration, coming together with people, hanging out, enjoying yourself, just kind of collaborating and having a good time with people, relaxing, things like that. I cannot talk. I'm sorry, y'all. The One Cup, or the Ace of Cups, can mean self-love. And it's also somebody offering love. I feel like you're torn. Like you've filled your own cup. Like you're cool by yourself. You're good by yourself, actually. You've gotten past the point where, like, I'll be single if I have to type energy, to I don't mind being single. I enjoy it. I enjoy my own company. So it's not like it's a necessity at this point. You enjoy it. So you're having conflict there with being in a good space on your own and trying to put yourself out there and accepting new people into your life. Next and that was clarified by the Two of Cups and the Sun, which tells me that there are opportunities out there for love, and they're good opportunities. The sun is something that illuminates everything. I mean, it brings light to dark situations, shadows, any lies, any type of anything that could be hidden from you would be illuminated by the sun. So I feel like the worry here is self-inflicted. There's the person who's coming in hasn't really given you any reason to doubt them, basically. It's more of your own thing. So we also got the Empress, which could mean a pregnancy. I feel like that may be for a small group of you. More so what I'm getting is this is somebody birthing new life into themselves. This is somebody creating the world that they want. This is somebody who has nurtured themselves from really the pits of hell. And someone who has learned to really be that support system for themselves that they never had. We also have that clarified by Justice and the High Priestess. There's a lot of major arcana in this reading here. Justice is just what it says. You know, it's things. I'm gonna have to close my window. I got stuff flying in here. Things being fair and balanced. Karma being repaid. You know, whatever you're giving out, you're getting back. That type of energy. And then the High Priestess is someone who I feel is like a powerful empath. Somebody who is highly intuitive, knowledgeable. Someone who is observant. Doesn't necessarily say what they know. More so just takes everything in and listens and feels things out and speaks when they need to. So this part of the reading in it of itself is powerful, because this to me is somebody who is not, I don't want to say unfuckwithable. I love that word, so I like to say it. But that's not the energy I'm getting with that, because I feel like that energy is more harsh than what this type of energy is. This is a very nurturing, caring energy. It's still unfuckwithable. Like, you're not easily shaken anymore. People can't just come in and say whatever and have you in your head for a week. But this is a lot more loving and caring and warm. So I feel like this stems from a lot of inner child work that you guys have done, so that child feels safe now. So with that, gives you more freedom to be yourself and not necessarily caring what other people think about it. The next card that came out was the Devil, which was clarified by the Daughter of Pentacles and the Father of Cups. Now, like I said, I started this reading and I had to sit with it for a minute, because as you can see, the energy is very like, and I didn't know where the Devil fit. Because I usually, when I'm doing readings, I kind of go where it takes me, right? So I usually take the Devil as some kind of toxic energy, which is what it is. But also, there's a side to it that's still toxic, but I never talk about it. And I was watching one of my favorite readers, Trinity Readings. Go check her out. She actually does my personal. She's amazing. She did a Scorpio reading a few days ago, and I just caught it today. And I didn't even watch the full thing. I watched just a piece of it because I got sidetracked with my kids. And the Devil came out. The Devil hasn't come out in any of my other readings today either. But she said the Devil is a card about fear. And it stood out to me because obviously I know that that's devil energy, right? I know that fear is fear. I mean, everything goes back to fear. But I just never looked at it that way. Sometimes it'll take somebody to say something in the most simple way for it to hit home and to kind of like click for you, which is what I like to call an activation. But anyway, next thing I know, it's coming out in my reading. So, and it's spot on to what this is saying. This devil energy is fear. It's fear of success. It's fear of all the blessings that you have worked so hard for and prayed for and manifested. They're right here. If this reading is resonating with you thus far, you have already started to see some of these blessings come back to you. And it's almost intimidating. So you're kind of on this like a seesaw. Like, do I just dive all into it and just, keep going the way I was going, or do I self-sabotage and go back to this fear-based mentality that I have, that I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve it, or nobody's gonna want me? Shit, I'm a single mom with 3 kids, and I had this mentality that nobody's gonna want a single mom with 3 kids who has issues from childhood with trust and, you know, whatever. There are people out there who do, though. And so it's an illusion. And it's because, like this book just said, it's a conditioning that you have from childhood and probably past lives. So you just have to remind yourself that it's not real. It's an illusion. And you're the only person that's affecting it. So, with that clarified by the Daughter of Pentacles and the Father of Cups, I'm taking it back to childhood, because to me, that's a daughter and a father, right? Self-explanatory. It could be a mother, son, or whatever. But fear of intimacy also stood out to me in what I read about this card, this never-ending cycle or story. That's a big one, and I feel like it's a big one for a lot of you. If you grew up in a home that wasn't, you know, affectionate, maybe never said I love you or gave you hugs or anything like that, intimacy can be intimidating. If you weren't told things like "you're beautiful," "I love you, daughter," "you're beautiful," or "you're great, son," or, well, you know, whatever. I can't think of any more examples, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then as you get older, that becomes normal for you. So as an adult, when you meet people and you're dating and getting to know others, even in friendships, and let's say somebody, you know, wraps their arm around you, you may kind of back up a little bit because it may feel weird. Or you don't know how to take compliments. People tell you you're pretty, or they like your hair, or they like you smile, and you find a way to bounce back a negative rebuttal to them. Hey, your dress is pretty today. Oh, thanks. But yeah, I look fat in it. That's that conditioning that has been ingrained in your mind since you were a child. So it's okay. You have to be gentle with yourself still. And you have to understand that people don't see you the same way that you see yourself. People don't see you the same way that abusers see you. And the way that I look at abusers, I was sexually abused. I have been emotionally abused. Not necessarily physically, but I mean, that's a gray area for me. But I give empathy towards them. And it's not a free pass to say it's okay to do what you did to me. But what I do in order to forgive and move on with my life is I look at them with empathy and understand that that's a demon that they have to fight. It's not my fight. And I can't carry that. There's a saying I've always heard, that holding on to that anger and that pain is like drinking poison, expecting them to die. So once you can get to the place, and don't force yourself to forgive somebody. Once you get to a place where you can forgive them and show some sort of empathy for them, you become liberated. Piece by piece, you become liberated, and you're able to put yourself back together again. And at that point, it becomes easier to accept these new people who aren't the people that abused you, so they don't deserve that same treatment. Anyway, moving on. So the Wheel also came out. That's just endings and beginnings. I mean, this is a chapter has been closed. You guys have set your boundaries. You stuck to them. You closed out some toxic karmic cycles, and you have gotten to this beautiful place of self-love, and you're ready to move on to the next phase of your life, which is going to require you to be in uncomfortable situations. We have to apply what we learn and what we work on, or else we might as well just stay in the same toxic karmic cycle. I started to get the guidance on this, but I'm going to get some more throughout it. But we have a new moon in Aquarius, which is bring love into the situation. I'm feeling a lot of Aquarius energy with this reading, actually. A lot of being yourself. I like to look at Aquarians as people who are just unapologetically themselves. They don't necessarily care who likes them and who don't. They're just very free within themselves. And I'm getting a lot of that energy with this reading. So I do want to pull a couple more cards here. Any other advice for Scorpios, July 2020? Surrender to the divine. A whole lot of surrender needs to happen. And the end of a tough cycle approaches is at the bottom. So yeah, we're at the end of, I feel like a lot of you already have passed that point, but I feel like it's in waves. But how I handle surrender is day by day, minute by minute, you know, situation by situation. If I get triggered, I don't react immediately. I sit and I feel with it, and I try to remember a lesson that I've had to learn in the last, you know, whatever, however long I've been on this journey. And I go back to that specific situation and I compare it, and I take, you know, take from the notes and take from the experience that I already had, and I apply it. If it's something that I need to surrender and kind of let flow, then that's what I do. I don't even put that much thought into things like that anymore, because the more that you surrender, the more things flow naturally. And you begin to see just how much the universe gives you what you ask for. So the more that you tiptoe into this new energy and try things out and see exactly how much you've grown, and you get those little wins, it gets easier and easier to give more of yourself or try more of this situation. Now I can go to a larger group event and not freak out, or now I can actually go on a date instead of just texting back and forth, that type of thing. So anyway, I'm gonna leave that with you guys. I hope it resonates. If it does, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.